live from the YouTubes on a Tuesday. It's Tuesday. It's April 13th. What is up, Flick fans? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome to another live Ask Me Anything. I was, once again, out of town on Sunday, so wasn't able to do our normal time, but I thought today would be a good day to reschedule. Thank you guys for joining me on a weekday, for taking your time and just hanging out with me in the chat for a little bit. I'm going to be answering some questions, going to be talking some movies. If you guys have any Oscar-centric questions or just the news in general with what happened to, ArcLight theaters or some trailers that have been coming out, be sure to ask me, and we can just talk about whatever you want to talk about for the next hour. Appreciate you guys big time for joining me, and I've already got a super chat, so we're going to hit that as always, guys. Super chat if you want to ensure that I see your question. Otherwise, I'm going to be trying to get to everything that I possibly can. And I see you guys here already. So we got, what's up? We got first one here. Hey, congratulations. First one in the chat today. What's up, man? What's going on? Ryan O'Toole. He has been catching up on Oscar movies. And yes, I've been watching your letterbox closely. Ryan, saw that you saw Another Round and The Father. Two of my absolute favorites of last year. We do have a super chat, which I'll talk about here in just a second. But if you guys enjoy these live streams, we're going to try to get back on that Sunday schedule. Apologies for not being able to do it. That is kind of the easiest day of the week for me, but we're going to get back on it. Be sure to drop your thumbs up down below, even though I'll be honest with you. Lately, YouTube's been taking away likes all across the board. On my channel, on other channels, I'll get some likes, and then 3 or 4 of them will go away. And I don't know what's going on, but hey, thanks for being here and thanks for liking, even if they get taken away eventually. I don't know what's going on with the platform, guys, but regardless, I just appreciate you guys for joining and asking questions. We have Entertainment Examiner with the first super chat of the day. Thank you so much, my friend, for your constant support on this channel. Do you think the BAFTA win that Hopkins will overtake Boseman at the Oscars? 2 great performances, but Hopkins was on another level to me. Thanks for all you do, my friend. That's a great question. Entertainment Examiner. And you know what? I don't know necessarily if this means anything big for Hopkins in terms of the Oscars. Now, we have seen before people come in and just win the BAFTA. That's the only thing they win, and then they win the Oscar. There are a couple of examples over the last 10 years of that. Otherwise, Chadwick Boseman has been winning across the board, and it's really hard to look at the BAFTAs and say, well, this means that Hopkins. Now, do I think he has a chance more so now than I did a couple of days ago? Absolutely. And my personal favorite is Anthony Hopkins. And you guys know this. He is my favorite performance of the 5, and I would love to see him win. I'd say he and Nicholson had the 2 best performances of last year. Unfortunately, I do think it's, and I say unfortunately lightly because I thought Boseman was incredible in his film, but I do think Boseman's going to win the award, but he deserves the award, so I'm not going to be entirely upset, although I do think Hopkins was just a bit better, and Mads Mikkelsen, but y'all know he didn't get nominated. But yeah, I do think there's a bit of a shot now. Are you a fan? Michael Giacchino as the film composer. Yeah, absolutely. I think he's great. His Planet of the Apes scores, probably some of my favorites. But across the board, he's doing a lot of superhero movies, from Doctor Strange to Spider-Man, and he's just a really good composer. So yeah, I absolutely love Giacchino. We have, hey, Austin, here we go. What's going on, everybody, in the chat room? Did you grow up with The Nightmare Before Christmas? I didn't necessarily grow up with it, funny enough. It's one that I didn't catch until a little bit later, but I really, really enjoy that film. Now, funny story, my wife, she doesn't love the movie. So I tried to watch it with her last year, and she's just like, eh. So, it's probably not going to be a tradition for us, but I think the movie's really fun, really entertaining, and I like the movie a lot, even though I didn't really grow up with it. How are you doing today? I'm doing great. I'm doing great trying to plan out my schedule for the next couple of weeks on YouTube. I have my Harry Potter tier list in the books, just trying to find an open spot for that. If nothing crazy happens tomorrow, maybe tomorrow, we'll have to see. So kind of keep your eyes open if you're looking forward to my Harry Potter tier list. It's a video I've been wanting to do for a while because I just want to talk Harry Potter because I love Harry Potter. Your Hulk pop figure is bobbling his head. Tell you what, man, they do some freaky things back there. Somebody commented and said my Yoda was opening his eyes and closing them one day. So I'm like, listen, if this place is haunted, maybe I'll get out of here one of these days. So yeah, I got a lot of bobbleheads back there. Let's see. We've got Best Director not nominated for an Oscar. Ooh, that's good. It's a great question. Man. Well, if we're talking about 20, that's tough. I mean, I'd have to have the list. I thought Nolan did a great job with Tenet. He wasn't the best. I honestly really like Sorkin for Chicago 7, but obviously, Mank, Fincher. But some of those were nominated. I would have to go look at it. It's a good question, though. I thought this year's nominee list of directors, especially once Vinterberg got in for another round, I'm like, all right, I'm really happy with this list. So that was kind of what cemented it as a really good list of 5. But we all know Chloe Zhao's going to win that Oscar. She's won everything at this point. It's the Chloe Zhao Award this year. Let's see. We've got McLovin. What's going on, McLovin? Studying for my exam tomorrow. Have it going. Wait, hey, man, listen. Focus. Probably not a good. I'm probably distracting you right now. That's okay, though. I like distracting people. But good luck on your exam. I'm telling you what, I would get so distracted when I was in college studying for exams. It's like that episode of SpongeBob when he's writing the he's writing the essay and he keeps going and doing stuff, and then he looks at it, just says that was me in college. So more power to you if you don't get distracted on the level I used to. Procrastinators, Austin Burke, more like Austin, not Burke. Oh, yeah, procrastinators. Houses are fun. Enjoy new house, good fun, good house. I need more. Procrastinators is on the edge today. Yeah, so I made a little announcement on Patreon, and I think it could be something I could go ahead and talk about with you guys. We haven't found a house, but we are currently in the process of looking for a house because we are planning on maybe finding a home this summer. My wife and I and my dog, Buddy, finally have a fenced-in backyard, hopefully. So, yes, we are currently in the midst of that process, and it is a stressful one. Let me tell you, when you're looking for a house, is fun. I don't want to say it's not fun, but it is stressful. But yeah, if you see me kind of like on edge in one of my reviews and a little stressed out, that's probably why, because we're doing all that stuff in real life. Let's see. Thoughts on the Cruella trailer. I personally think it looks pretty promising considering some of Disney's awful live action movies. I like it. I think the trailer's solid, especially that second one. The first one, I wasn't entirely sold on, but the second one was a little bit better. And you can't go wrong with Emma Stone. You just can't. So hopefully she's really good. And I hope this is a really good live action movie for Disney. I like the fact that it's not entirely based off of, you got the Lion King and the Aladdin, this and that. And I've liked some of those. I've disliked others. But for the most part, I think Cruella looks pretty good. So I'm excited. Clayton with the super chat. By the way, guys, if you use Streamlabs, which is my other method, it's in the link down below. If you guys use Streamlabs, let me know just in case, I keep talking and forget about it. I don't want to miss your all's questions. So thoughts on Charlie Kaufman? I'm thinking of doing a deep dive. I'm thinking of ending things and Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind. What next? I'd say Synecdoche, New York. I'd say that's your next one. That's kind of, for me, those are kind of the 3 that I really started out with and dove in. And Eternal Sunshine is maybe a little bit different than the others because Kaufman's style, I think, shines through in the other 2. I mean, obviously, he directed some and didn't direct Eternal Sunshine, but I'd say Synecdoche, New York is a great one. To dive into next. And overall, I think his filmography is great. I really enjoyed I'm Thinking of Ending Things. I know it wasn't everyone's cup of tea, but I like the weird, artistic, not everyone's on the same page with it kind of movies. And I thought it was really cool because of that. So I'd say that's your next one. Going to put this on screen so I can go back to it. Follow me on Letterboxd, Blake Sebastian, so I can, just so I can see it later on. Come back to this question. I will try my best to. Blake Sebastian. Do you think Carey Mulligan would have won the Best Actress BAFTA if we had the old nomination systems? Yeah, they changed their system entirely. I mean, I think there was a shot, and I think it would have made life a lot easier when it comes to, figuring out who's going to win Best Actress at the Oscars, because who freaking knows? That's the one Oscar category this year. I have no clue, guys. So we'll just have to see who wins that award. But I think that would have made it a lot easier if Mulligan would have, Chris Stuckman grew up with it. I love when he says that. That's one of my favorite things. Are you going to review the series Who Killed Sarah? Unfortunately, probably not. It's one I missed the boat on. When I find out that I'm, a week or two late on some of these shows, I'm just like, man. And that was one that I was late on. I believe I was busy that weekend. So we'll just have to see if I get to it eventually. But as of now, I don't plan on watching it, even though I've heard good things. Let's see. Hey, Austin, keep up the great work. Thank you, Tyler. Question, do you know whether documentary films are eligible for best cinematography? Not sure why my octopus teacher didn't get such recognition. I will tell you, they got the visual effects in the final where they narrow it down. There was a documentary for visual effects, so I don't think they would not be eligible for cinematography. I'm pretty sure they are. So it's interesting. I still need to see My Octopus Teacher on Netflix. I think that's like the only documentary that I haven't seen yet. But yeah, I would not be opposed to a documentary getting a cinematography nod, because some of the best cinematography I've ever seen have showed up in great documentaries across the board. So it's a great question. Yeah, I saw the Army of the Dead trailer dropped. I got to go watch that after this. Probably not going to react to it just because I already did the first one. It's the second trailer. But yeah, I can't wait to watch it. I'm excited for that film, guys. I really am. Watched Saving Private Ryan, Prisoners, and No Country for Old Men for the first time this year. And some of the best I've seen this year. I blame you. Oh, what a trio that is. 3 of my favorites of all time, Joey. That's awesome, my friend. I'm glad you liked them. Sometimes my favorites are not everybody's cup of tea, but those are 3 of my favorite movies, no doubt in my mind. So I'm very, very happy about that. Let's see. Excited for Mortal Kombat movie? Yeah, I am. I'm very excited. Very, very excited. I can't wait for Mortal Kombat. Really hope something good happens with the screener there, because Warner Brothers is a bit more difficult to gauge whether or not screeners are going to happen or not, but I'm so excited for Mortal Kombat. My goodness. Are you a fan of Philadelphia? If you're talking the movie, then absolutely. If you're talking the city, I've never been, but I really enjoy it. So, yeah, the movie is great, though. I recently rewatched it last year, actually. Let's see. What is your opinion on Ryan Murphy and his shows? For me, it's up and down. Some of the shows I'm just like, and then others I'm just like, okay. So, but he's done some great work in the past. So, but I do think Ryan Murphy's very talented. And I like the fact that you just kind of not different. Yeah, I guess it's different genres and different kinds of films and different kinds of TV shows. So at least there's a variety there. It's a super sticker. Thank you so much. Got a little smiley face with the glasses on. Thank you for that. Big time. That's kind of how I feel right now. I'm just feeling like cool, chill, relaxed a little bit. We have Andy with the super chat. And he says, I just woke up and I'm half asleep. What are some movies on your need to rewatch list? Oh, yeah, that's a good one. Need to rewatch list. So I've had this urge lately to go back and watch The Godfather Part 2. This urge, and I don't know why. Really want to go rewatch some David Lynch movies. I'd love to start working on a David Lynch tier list. And I am in the middle of a Stanley Kubrick kind of need to figure out which movies I need to watch, need to, get an idea of when I'm going to watch them, because I think Kubrick's kind of the next random tier list that I'd like to do. We've got the Harry Potter one that I'm working on, and then we've got the Stanley Kubrick one that I'd like to do next. So I think that would be super fun. Give me a chance to talk about some older films. I don't get the opportunity to do that a lot on this channel. Cheesy Man, 2022. How you doing, man? Have you seen the Army of the Dead trailer yet? It looks freaking awesome. Cheesy Man, what's going on? What's going on, Cheesy Man? Yeah, I saw the first one. I really love the first one. I can't wait for the second trailer. No, I need to see it, my friend. We're going to go watch that right after this live stream. So, man, I'm pumped. I'm so pumped for that movie. Love me a good zombie film. We get a lot of zombie projects that are familiar and this and that, but Army of the Dead looks really, really fun. Let's see. Don't you think that Promising Young Woman is kind of super overrated? Well, if you've seen my videos, I don't feel that way. I really, really, really enjoyed Promising Young Woman. But you're not alone. There's been a huge crowd of people kind of come out and say that movie's overrated. There's always a couple every year when it comes to the Oscars. It's like, That's the overrated one. And for a while, it was Trial of Chicago 7, but now there's a lot of people saying Promising Young Woman. That's fine. I understand. Look, it's not perfect, but I really enjoyed it. I like the twist. I know a lot of people didn't like the twist, but you're not alone, my friend. You're not alone at all. What mic do you use? This is a Shure X2U. That's what it is. So Shure. It was a fairly, well, I say it was a fairly cheap mic. I actually bought this off my boy Ryan Snelling, who used to do the Schmoes Know after show. He sold it to me because it's like, hey man, I need a better microphone. So he sold it to me for a reasonable price, but they're not that expensive. I think the Shure brand is a great brand for microphones. You've got some condenser mics. You've got a variety that you could buy, and you've got the more expensive ones. You got the $500 Shure microphones that I would love to own one of these days. So maybe once I get a house and we get settled there, I can purchase a new microphone. But it's a good mic. Even if you get a cheaper one, I think Shure is a really, really good brand. Let's see. Did you grow up with the X-Men movies? I did. The first one hit me at the right time because I loved the 90s X-Men show. Well, I loved the 80s and the 90s, Evolution, and then the OG, obviously. But I really enjoyed the first. I enjoyed the second. The third was a little bit disappointing, but I actually don't hate it as much as a lot of people. So I did indeed grow up with the X-Men movies. Let's see. Want to make sure I don't miss any of these super chats here. We've got we got a director swap, Tarantino's Baby Driver or Edgar Wright's Kill Bill. Oh gosh, Tarantino works really well for Baby Driver. Oh man. But Edgar Wright's style for Baby Driver is like unmatchable. But then you could say the same thing about Kill Bill. I'd like to see Tarantino's Baby Driver. Again, with these, I like to choose one. And I have to choose Tarantino's Baby Driver. I would just be interested. I don't know if it would be better because of Wright's mixing and mashing of the music to the editing, but I think it would be interesting for sure. Let's see. Do you have a video game or video game franchise that you enjoy the most from your past? For me, it's between COD and Pokemon. Well, funny enough, those are actually two of the ones. For me, Call of Duty, Modern Warfare 2, I grew up with playing, but also Super Smash Bros. That's like my favorite game of all time. It doesn't matter what version. You can do Melee, you could do Brawl, the current version, Team Captain Falcon all the way. Actually, I used to be Team Captain Falcon. I'm playing a lot of Dark Pit and Ridley lately, for those of you that do play Super Smash Bros. But funny thing, my brother is actually one of the greatest Super Smash Bros. Players I've ever seen in my life. I used to beat him all the time growing up, and now he competes in tournaments and wins them. He won $100 the other day for playing in a Super Smash Bros. Tournament. He's ridiculous. He plays Captain Falcon, and he doesn't lose. So just a video game tangent. That's got to be the one for me that I grew up with. Ryan says, thoughts on the Blade movies? I haven't talked about the Blade franchise in a long time. I love the first two Blade movies. Don't like the third one, but I love the first two. And I will be very much on board for seeing Mahershala Ali's version of Blade. I think he could maybe make the best one yet. I'm not like crazy attached to the Blade films. I don't go back and go, oh, there, you can't make another Blade. But I thought he was so good in the role. Wesley Snipes. I thought just the whole concept idea behind the movie and the fact that they were so just visually stunning. Yeah, those Blade films are great. What's the most nostalgic film for you? Oh, I've got a lot of nostalgic movies. Well, I've got some that I'm not embarrassed about, and then I've got some that I am embarrassed about. Like, I shouldn't be embarrassed about Scooby-Doo and Scooby-Doo 2 Monsters Unleashed, but I kind of am because they don't get that. People hate those movies. Something about Cat in the Hat. I know it's not a good movie, y'all, but something about Cat in the Hat. That movie is fascinating, right? You go back to it. I went and watched the scene where he's the Cupcake-inator scene, and I'm just like, what were the writers doing when they wrote this? I mean, it's ridiculous, but I grew up with it. Like, I just have this sense of, I laugh whenever I watch that movie. It's so stupid. But yeah, something like The Grinch as well. A lot of those early 2000s movies, and then your really good ones like your Pixar's and your Disney's and your Shrek's, and I love all those films, so I have a lot of nostalgia. And then I could get in TV and I could talk about Cartoon Network and Nickelodeon and Drake and Josh and all that stuff. So I've got a lot of fun nostalgic memories from shows and movies like that. Thoughts on the Powerpuff Girls casting? I don't mind it. I don't mind it. I like all three of the actresses. It's for me, it's more of the show in general. I'm just like, it could be good or it could be really bad. I'm curious. I'm not hating on it. And it's funny, I did that video and man, people get mad at me. They're like, what's wrong with you? And I'm like, guys, I didn't make the show. I'm just kind of spreading the news because I do some of those news videos because I want to keep you guys up to date. And man, I got some dislikes and I got people in the comments like, man, you stupid. I'm like, guys, I didn't take the pictures. They get so mad at me. I'm just like, shoot the messenger. I'm just the messenger, guys. But hey, that's fine. I'll sit and take the punches for the cast and the crew and the director, even though I'm just the guy making the YouTube video. But I get some of the anger. I understand you take something nostalgic and you bring it up to date, and they're older and whatnot. So I'm hesitant, but I don't mind the casting. I think the casting is actually pretty good. Good question. We have, what are your thoughts on my favorite TV show, Dexter, and its miniseries revival coming in late 2021? You haven't watched it, check it out. I have watched Dexter. It's been a while, so I'm kind of foggy and my memory's a little fuzzy, and I'm so pumped. I am so pumped. I can't believe Dexter is coming back. I mean, it's just so cool. And one of the hesitations on Dexter, and I won't say what it is the ending. It's just kind of like, but now we get another opportunity, and the miniseries revival, I think, is absolutely perfect. So I'm so pumped for Dexter, and I'm so glad to see that there are more fans and more people excited for it as well. Yeah, definitely rewatch Godfather Part 2 and Kubrick films. You're getting into what people may call mature films. Yeah, see, that's the thing, though, is they call them mature films, but, I've made videos on classic films before, and people just don't seem that interested in them. So I think a tier list is a great opportunity for me to kind of combine all those things. People like the tier list formats and finally get the chance to talk about some Kubrick films. And Godfather Part 2, the reason I want to rewatch it is I want to see where it fits in my top 50 movies because I know it's in there. I just want to see where it fits. I love Super Smash Bros. Let's go. Super Smash Bros. Let's see. Did Moonrise Kingdom, Princess Mononoke, and Forrest Gump resonate with you? That's the most random trio of movies, but yeah, all three of them. Moonrise Kingdom, absolutely. I'm trying to get my wife to watch that movie. Princess Mononoke, gorgeous anime film. Absolutely gorgeous. Forrest Gump, yes. I don't think I'm as high on Forrest Gump as a lot of people. There's a lot of people, but I really, really enjoy it. I think it's a hilarious movie, and of course, it's an iconic character. Let's see. Give us one random Super Smash Bros. Video with your brother someday. Man, he's saved so many replays. I could do a huge compilation. I could do a huge compilation of Super Smash Bros. Victories, and a lot of them against me. Let's see. Are you going to do an early 2022 Oscar predictions after the Oscars? Of course I am. Absolutely. It's never too early. And you know what? I love coming back and seeing how wrong I was. I'm not kidding. I know it sounds dumb, but I go back to my last year's way too early predictions. Go back and watch that video. First of all, make fun of me because I look silly. No, I'm just kidding. I always look silly. But second of all, go back and watch that video and just see how wrong. And the funniest one was before the pandemic started. And I didn't know that all those movies were going to change. So I'm like, Dune's going to get nominated for Best Picture. It's just so sad. I'd love to go back to the past and just tell myself what would happen last year. Let's see. Cat in the Hat is a masterpiece. There I said it, people. Alex Lopez speaking the truth. Christian says, what's the best chance of being the first MCU Oscar-winning role? We will have to see how Eternals is this year. I'm telling you guys, Chloe Zhao could direct Eternals to an Oscar nomination. Is that a way too early prediction? Yeah, it probably is. Don't listen to me. But listen to me. But don't listen to me. But listen to me. Chloe Zhao is a phenomenal director, and everything she touches at this point has turned to gold. And the reports coming out that Marvel doesn't know what to do with Eternals because it's so good. They didn't think it would be that good, and they've seen the film and they say, "Oh my God!" So it may not be a performance, but I think Eternals could be that good. I have a lot of confidence in that film, and I've been excited for that film for 2 years because the source material is spectacular. I just think it's primed and ready. It is this galactic, Lord of the Rings level epic story that I can't wait to be told. I can't wait for you guys to see these characters. Who would win? Who would get nominated? I'm not for sure, but I think Chloe Zhao can do it. If anybody can do it, I think Chloe Zhao can do it. So I at least think it will be good. There's my prediction. Let's see. I've got some. Oh, here we go. All my guilty pleasures are teen dramas. A Cinderella Story, Agent Cody Banks, winning Ice Princess. Oh my gosh. I recognize they're not revolutionary, but I still love them. Hey, listen, I have a lot of those. I even have nostalgia for High School Musical. I said it. I liked that film growing up. Even me and my friends. I mean, you've got the whole basketball team shtick, and I was on the basketball team, and we all were like, yeah, High School Musical is good. I mean, I know, it's not what you think of when you think, oh, the basketball. No, I like that movie a lot growing up. I haven't seen them in a while, so I don't know how they hold up, but the first one, the second one, the third one, I have nostalgia. So yeah, a lot of those are like the teen coming of age stories, and I like that, man. It's fun to revisit those movies that hit us for different reasons. And I think these kinds of films are the ones that we go back to maybe even the most. So it's really cool to see others kind of have that same mentality. Michael, what's going on, Michael? Was The Courier being campaigned this season, or will it be campaigned for next season? It would be nice for Cumberbatch being in contention again. I don't know. I think the release date, actually it was very close because there was a cutoff release date. I actually think it was at the end of maybe February. So maybe it would be for next season. Unfortunately, I think it's one of those movies that people will just forget about. And I think Cumberbatch, and I've not seen the film. I'm just saying when you release a movie at the beginning, which normally is earlier in the year, and then you go 8 months, people are going to forget about it, unfortunately. And even for summer releases, people often forget about summer releases, even though there's some phenomenal performances. I am shocked that Ben Affleck kind of made his way to later on in Oscar season for the Critics' Choice Awards this year for The Way Back, because that film came out, I believe, last March. So often they don't resonate like that, but it's a great question, Michael. Benedict Cumberbatch, I think, is one of the best actors in Hollywood, and he's not really been, in Oscar contention since his film a few years back. So I think he's that kind of actor, though, and I think he'll be primed one of these days. He'll be primed and ready to get nominated for another Oscar. I don't think The Courier is it, but I absolutely think the guy deserves it. Do you support Restore the Snyderverse? Do I support the idea of bringing back the Zack Snyder universe and the DC universe? Absolutely. Absolutely. I think, what they set up with this Justice League this year, what they set up with that is intriguing. It's exciting. Some of the ideas that I heard come out after the movie is kind of like, not great. But overall, I think Snyder has a firm grip on this universe, and I really, really hope they continue it. I'd love to see more Cyborg. I'd love to see more of Ben Affleck's Batman. I'd love to see more of all of it. And I'm very, very excited to see maybe something happen with that. I don't know. Even if it is HBO Max just saying, well, let's just give him a mini-series. Let's just do that now. But the problem is, I don't know if Snyder, he was treated kind of so like, I don't know if he'll be wanting to come back and do that. So it may end up coming down to Zack Snyder. But yeah, I think I would love to see more from that universe specifically. And definitely Henry Cavill, because oh my goodness, Henry Cavill, his Superman is just so good. Jonathan, thank you, Jonathan, for the super chat, my friend. Hello, Austin. I have a foreign movie that you should check out. It's quickly become one of my. It's from Russia called T-34. It has a similar feel to Brad Pitt's movie Fury. Interesting, Jonathan. That is fascinating. All right. Well, here's what we're going to do. We're going to go to Letterboxd. Apologies to everybody who is watching and watching me do this. But I love a good movie recommendation, and we are going to, very cool. T-34. All right. We're going to put that on the watch list. Thank you so much, Jonathan. I love a good movie recommendation. I had someone recommend a film a while ago on Letterboxd that I'm very intrigued about as well. But yeah, I'll definitely, I would love to expand on more foreign films, and kind of start getting into that side of things more. The problem with that is, where I review streaming services and review Netflix and Hulu and all that, I have to review the newest movies. So when it comes to taking time out of my day and going and watch some of the older films, it's just tough. Like, I want to, but schedule wise, it's very difficult. But I'd love to just take some time, sit down, watch some movies. That's why it took me so long to rewatch all the Harry Potter films, just because when you watch everything new, it's very, very difficult. Not complaining. Love what I do. Love doing this channel. But yeah, it's just very tough to go back. But Jonathan, thank you for the super chat, my friend. That's awesome. Bale or Affleck? It's tough. I got to go Bale. I got to go Bale because, nostalgia growing up with the Dark Knight films. I was 13 when I saw the Dark Knight. A lot of people were 13 watching Ben Affleck's Batman, and that's their favorite Batman. A lot of people were 13 watching Michael Keaton's Batman. That's their favorite Batman. But, Christian Bale was the one. Also, those movies are like, the Dark Knight is perfection. I mean, it's phenomenal, and Ben Affleck hasn't had the opportunity to show what he's made of yet fully, even though I think his Batman, not necessarily the character, not necessarily, what he's been doing in his films, I think his version is awesome. And I think Ben Affleck it's almost like he was born to play Batman. That's why I'm so sad we're not going to see more of him. So I love his Batman. And, seeing this new version of Justice League turned me, around on him even more, because the first version of Justice League, his character arc didn't do it for me, because he goes from here to here without the in-between. Complete 180. In this version of Justice League, we get a slow transition into what he is by the end of the film. And there's also, they cut all the ridiculous lines of him arguing with Wonder Woman. So yeah, I think his Batman is very, very good, but I've got to go Christian Bale just because kind of that's the one that resonates with me the most. Wes Anderson or Tarantino? Got to go Tarantino there. I love Wes Anderson, though. That is no slight on Wes Anderson. His style is fascinating. He's different. He's different than any other director, and that's a good thing. I like different. I really do. Christian says you should do a reaction vid to your way to reacting to my own. Oh, wow, that is really good. Christian, holy cow, that's a great idea. I react to my way too early Oscar predictions. Would y'all like to see that? Christian, let's go, man. That's the super chat comes in and saves the day. That's an awesome idea because it's so embarrassing. Oh, that is fun. Would you guys like to see that? Oh, I love that. Hey, you might be seeing that video this week. By the way, if you guys, again, I mentioned at the beginning of this live stream, and I know, you guys support this channel like crazy. So for some reason, YouTube lately, there's been this fluctuation in likes on videos. So I'll get, so many likes, and then I'll lose 5 of them. And then I'll get a couple more, and then I'll lose like 5 more. So it's part of their verification system, and I don't know if it's working entirely. But I just appreciate your guys' support. So if you like the video, and even if it goes away for some reason, just know that I appreciate it. And you guys supporting this channel, and whether it be this live stream or any of my work, that's part of the reason why I am where I am, is because you guys leave comments and likes and all of those things that support this channel. But that also, analytically, that also pushes these videos in the right direction. So I've got 60 something likes right now. Let's see if some of those go away. I don't know why that's happening. It's been happening all over the place. Regardless, if you guys like these videos, just know that I appreciate it, because it really does help, and that's part of the reason why we've grown the way that we have. Let's see. Cam on camera says, "Have you seen Shadow and Bone yet?" No. I should be getting the screener any day. So as soon as I see it, Cam, I'm going to tweet out my thoughts as soon as that social embargo lifts. And hopefully you're going to be seeing a review early that week, maybe 2 or 3 days before the show comes out. So I'm excited, though. That's why I can't wait to get my hands on that screener. I'm like, I want Shadow and Bone. I don't want to annoy you, Netflix, but come on, give me Shadow and Bone, because not only do I want to get it out of the way to review it, but I am just so pumped for that show. All right, let's see. We've got another great super chat with AJ Taylor, a director swap. McQueen's a Bronson. Wow. Or Winding Refn's Widows. I don't even have to think about that one. I'm going to go Nicholas Winding Refn's Widows. I would be fascinated to see, because his color palette, his cinematography, often in his movies and TV shows, and not the Steve McQueen. I mean, you can't go wrong with McQueen as a director. But I would love to see Winding Refn's take on Widows. I think that would be very interesting. So, yeah, Widows. I forget about Widows. I liked it. I thought it was a good movie. I didn't love it, but I thought it was a genuinely interesting film. And I haven't seen Bronson in a while. I don't even know if I have it ranked on Letterboxd, so I would love to see it. Let's see. I need 2 more 4-hour Justice League movies, please. Me too. I'm right there with you. Let's see. I've got, did I get AJ? More serious question. Here we go. As someone who is constantly putting out videos, how do you avoid burnout? AJ, it's the question of the century. I don't. It's not that I avoid it. It's that I try to stay patient and not overwhelm myself, even though I say that, and sometimes I do. And I've really overwhelmed myself before. I mean, I've gotten to the point to where I've had to just sit back and breathe, and sometimes even take like 5 to 6 hours off and just relax, because it's like I'm so concerned with YouTube. I'm so concerned with making the right videos. I'm so concerned with you guys, if you're going to like the content or not. And then, of course, my main concern, which is properly analyzing and criticizing the movie or show that I try to review. And not that it's, I've got to make sure I get this right. It's like I want to be completely honest, but more importantly, I want to be fair to that movie or TV show, right? So that's kind of my main focus. But sometimes you do it a lot, it can get overwhelming. So I just try to stay patient, and I try to kind of schedule out. I've been scheduling out my weeks in advance recently, and that's actually really helped. So if you ever start a YouTube channel, try to get a calendar. And I know things will pop up like trailers and trailer reactions, but get a calendar and kind of plan out what you're going to do that week. And I'll tell you what, it helps a lot. It's helped me quite a bit. Christian with another question says, if the Oscars respected comedies, do you think Sandberg or Milioti would have gotten a nomination? Also, will you review Made for Love? Final 2 episodes Friday. Oh, yeah. Oh, that's Friday, man. I might do it. I've been hearing good things. I've been hearing good things about that show, Christian. So I really want to watch it. My friend Rachel from Rachel's Reviews told me she's watching it, and kind of got me motivated to watch it. So yeah, I definitely want to check that out. In terms of the Oscars, yes. I don't know about those 2 specifically. I don't know if they would have gotten an actor or actress nomination, but I think Palm Springs would have gotten more love, or any love, from the Oscars. It's far and away the best comedy from last year, in my opinion. Look, Borat 2 was fun, and I'm taking nothing away from Borat 2, but I think Palm Springs is so much better than Borat 2. Just so much better. And creative, fresh, interesting, funny. And unfortunately, even in last year when there were less movies, it just wasn't looked at. And that's kind of how comedies have always been. But it's a great question nonetheless. Cole Davis says, make a TikTok. I've been trying. I mean, I get so nervous about transitioning like that. I'm like, would you guys follow me over there? I've already got a page and a channel. I've not really done anything on it. So if you guys would follow me over there, I would love to do funny little movie things over on TikTok. But if that's something you guys don't want and wouldn't follow me, we'll have to see. But I would love for you guys to follow me over on TikTok, because I think we could make a whole new fun community over there, and I could do more stuff, and I wouldn't have to worry about the production value. I could just do it, So I definitely want to, Cole. Jonathan says, don't change the language. Lip sync is very bad. Don't change the language. Lip sync is very bad. Am I missing something, Jonathan? Maybe I'm just forgetting. What were we talking? What were we talking about? I'm very confused. Sorry. Yeah, y'all fill me in what we're talking about here, because I'm not completely sure. Don't change the language. Lip sync is very bad. All right. I am not entirely sure what we're talking about. But if we figure it out, Jonathan, I will come back to this question. Let's go to the next one, though. We have one. I want to make sure I don't miss any of these super chats, guys. We got Shadow and Bone. We got Real James. We got Real James in the chat. What's going on, Real James? Hey, congratulations, by the way, for your milestone on YouTube and being accepted in. Is that your first film critics just group in general? I don't know if it's your first, James. Let me know. But if you're still here, congrats, man, on all your hard work. Your YouTube channel's rocking it, and I appreciate you for being here. All right, we got how well do you know Swedish movies? Not entirely. Off the bat, I don't know if I can think of one that stands out. I'm sure I've seen Swedish films. I know I've seen Swedish TV shows, but not entirely. If you have a recommendation for me, Stefan, let me know. I want to expand on the kinds of movies that I watch, this and that. So let me know if you have a recommendation for me. Real James says, my first critics group, dude. Freaking awesome, man. That is the best feeling in the world, and I'm sure you were thrilled when you got that news. So I'm just very, very happy you're getting some recognition, man, in terms of joining film groups and stuff like that, because if anybody deserves it, your quality is outstanding. Saturn says T34, so that's what we were talking about. All right, so we were talking about T34 in terms of don't change the language, the lip sync. Yeah, oftentimes with these foreign films and TV shows, the lip syncing can be bad, and not just bad, like really bad off. They change the language, they change the verbiage, the words are different. I'm just like, guys, you're almost manipulating the script at that point. But sometimes it's really good. A lot of anime is really good. I think One Punch Man, the translation is not entirely the same, but I love the voice cast in One Punch Man, the English language voice cast. So sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad, but thank you for letting me know that. Untamed Banana, that's my favorite. Finished the DC AMU recently. A lot of mixed feelings. Hated the use of plot convenience magic. What are your favorite movies and least favorite movies in that universe? So the DC AMU, is that the DCEU? Is that the same thing there? Or are we talking about the, is that something else? DC AMU. I guess that's the current DC universe. Am I right? Sorry, guys. I'm like, I want to make sure I'm talking about the right thing here. So if that is the current DC universe, and I'm gonna wait and make sure Untamed Banana, that's what you're talking about. The animated universe. That's what it is. The DC animated universe. So if we're talking about overall, or if we're talking about the current one that just ended with Apocalypse War, then I would say there are mixed feelings. Well, I'd actually say there are mixed feelings on both. So overall, there have been a few movies that have been just kind of on. The current one, I really like Justice League War. But then Justice League, versus the Teen Titans, I was kind of like, okay, that one's fine. And then some of the movies just haven't quite hit. But I think there have been some really great standouts and some gems that not a lot of people talk about. Now, the overall universe, the Flashpoint Paradox is outstanding. Under the Red Hood is one of the best movies. The Dark Knight Returns Part 1 and 2 is, monumental. It's a monumental Batman story in general, but just the way that they translated that, I thought was so impressive. So yeah, I'm very happy with the way that universe is played out. But I am definitely on board with getting more movies like that. I know they've stopped the universe after Apocalypse War, but I heard now that Barry's doing what he's doing at the end of that, I won't spoil things, that they're going to kind of continue that in a different way. So I'm very excited to see how that plays out. And there's one coming out here in a little bit, here in a couple weeks, that I'm very excited about. So I think the DC animated movies are by far the best animated movies of any of the comic book. Of course, now we have Invincible, and I am watching Invincible. And if you guys would like me to review the new episode this weekend, I would love to. I've kind of been off of that because Falcon and the Winter Soldier has taken up a lot of time. But I'm just like, you know what? Let's talk about Falcon and Winter Soldier and Invincible. So I think I might bring that to you guys on Friday. Saturn says, thoughts on Dwayne Johnson want to play Black Adam. Well, Dwayne Johnson is shooting, right? They just started shooting this week. I'm so pumped. I think the cast is great I love the Pierce Brosnan casting as Dr. Fate. Dr. Fate's one of my favorite superheroes in the DC universe. He didn't get love for so long, and then he finally started showing up in the animated universes, and now Pierce Brosnan. Oh my goodness. I think that could be really cool. So I'm excited. They got a lot of Justice Society in the Black Adam, so maybe they'll expand on that in the future. Seen Tell Me Who I Am Yet. Love that documentary. No, actually, you know what? That's another one that I haven't seen. I haven't seen that. There's a lot of documentaries that I need to catch up on. I've covered a lot of the major ones on Netflix and streaming, but there are a couple that I've missed. My Octopus Teacher is another one that I've missed. So I definitely need to catch up Untamed Banana. And I love how I said that so seriously, Untamed Banana. But yeah, I want to get to some documentaries. Oh gosh, come on, guys. Bye. Asking questions again and again, but I haven't got answered one. Frustrated. Don't be frustrated. Listen, if you could see how fast they're flying by right now, you would know today ain't no way I'm going to see all the questions. And that is the first time I've seen a question from you. So don't get frustrated. Listen, the reason I get to the super chats is because they pop up and they don't go away. On the program that I have, everybody's program is different. But in terms of the normal questions, they're just kind of flying. So it's kind of like, boom, 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 pick one, it's kind of like that. So sorry if I'm not answering your questions, but just know that I'm not ignoring, guys. I'm not ignoring you. I promise. It's just really hard to see unless I was the Flash. Now, if I was the Flash, I would see all of these questions. So maybe if I develop super speed, I will see it one of these days. Let's see. Let's go to WandaVision over The Falcon and the Winter Soldier. I don't think that's a bad take. You know what? Honestly, I think I agree with you. I think I like WandaVision at this point more than Falcon and Winter Soldier at this point. But that last episode of The Falcon and the Winter Soldier was very, very good. Like, it's almost getting to the point to where it's like, all right, now we're getting somewhere. And not that we weren't anywhere before, but now we're kind of getting somewhere. So I am very motivated to see what comes of the last two episodes. And apparently there's a huge cameo now. Are they setting us up for disappointment? Maybe, possibly. But maybe. Does the donation work on Streamlabs? Yes, it does. I have refreshed. I don't have any new ones. But if you shoot me a Streamlabs, yeah, I'll absolutely answer it. So yeah, if you, I've got that open on a tab, my friend. So if you ask me one, I'll definitely get to it. Thank you. Let's see. I have to say, okay. Is this I don't want to talk specifically Falcon and Winter Soldier spoilers, guys. So I'm not going to talk, just in case, somebody hasn't caught up on the episode, but I will be doing a Falcon and Winter Soldier live stream in the future. So we can talk specifically about that show, just like we did for WandaVision. So I'm not going to answer the Falcon and the Winter Soldier questions in this video, but I appreciate you guys asking those questions. Let's see. Are you a fan of The Matrix? Yes, I am. I definitely am. I'm a fan of that franchise in general, and I'm excited for it to return and come back. Let's see. Have you watched Mortal Kombat? No, I haven't. It's Warner Brothers. Sometimes they're very, we just don't know. We don't know how the screeners are going to work. It's complicated, but I hope I get to see it prior and bring you guys a review. I really do. We have another super chat, which stays on the screen so I can see it. I think Age of Ultron is underrated. Better than the Avengers. Woo! And did something different than most of the MCU films that led to many great movies. I don't agree that it's better than the Avengers, but I do agree that it kind of set the stage for a lot of ideas in the MCU. And it's actually a very monumental movie, if you think about it. It not only set up, let's think about it. It sets up WandaVision and Falcon and Winter Soldier. Because of what happens to Zemo's family, which we don't see in Age of Ultron. But that leads us into Civil War, which leads us into Falcon and Winter Soldier. And then, of course, we get the introduction of Wanda and Peter. So, I mean, my goodness, it set the stage for a lot of different things. I don't love the film, but man, I think that does a lot for that universe. All right. Want to make sure I don't miss any super chats here, guys. How do you feel about the new Army of the Dead trailer? Can't answer that. Haven't seen it, but I am going to go watch it here in a little bit. Did you see? Yeah, Vice apparently is good. I've got to go watch this trailer. Apparently, it is really, really good. I do think we had a Stream Labs question come in just now from Michael Cox. What's going on, Michael? So let's take you guys over there to the Stream Labs portion of this video. Actually, we have, let me share this screen for you guys really quick, and then I will application done. Here we go. All right. So we've got Michael Cox with the question, Team Saving Private Ryan or Team Thin Red Line? I'm on the latter's side. All right, Michael. I'm on Saving Private Ryan's side. I think Saving Private Ryan is a phenomenal film. Now, I also think Thin Red Line is outstanding. I do. I love both movies, but I'm definitely Saving Private Ryan. That's one of my favorite movies of all time. That and honestly, 1917. It has moved its way into one of my favorite war movies, specifically, of all time. Sure, it's new. And yeah, Austin, come on, man. You've got to, it just came out in 2019. How is that one of your, I don't care. Recency bias or not, I've seen the movie, 6 times now, and the film just keeps getting better for me. So 1917, Saving Private Ryan. But I do think Thin Red Line is absolutely outstanding. All right, we've got a couple more really good questions here, guys. So we're at the 51-minute mark. I'm going to wrap up here in just a little bit. Trying to look for some of those questions that I missed earlier. I want to make sure I get to some of you guys if I didn't get to you earlier. Hey, Austin, have you ever thought doing gaming videos for movie video games and stuff like that? I personally think it would be a very cool idea, and I think you would support me. Thank you for saying that. It's tough because I don't have a lot of gaming systems. I go play Super Smash Bros. With my brother on his Switch. I don't really have the new PlayStation or the new Xbox, so it's I'd have to invest, and then it's like, are people going to follow me and support me on there? But listen, I would love to do, especially movie games, or even like the Amazing Spider-Man or the Spider-Man game and then Miles Morales game. Oh my goodness, those look incredible. I played a little bit of the Spider-Man game; it was phenomenal. But Miles Morales looks awesome. So yeah, I'd love to do something like that in the future. But first, I gotta make me a TikTok. Maybe the next live stream I have, you guys will see that I'm throwing out the TikTok, and we're gonna see what we can do on there. Julian Edelman retired, and I'm sad. I assume you're a Patriots fan. Yeah, it's the end of an era. Brady, Gronk, Edelman, all out of New England. It is the end of an era. I think he was a phenomenal player, and it's sad to see. Absolutely. We've got a couple of great questions. Do we have PopX Cast? Somebody said PopX Cast in the chat. Do we have PopX Cast in the chat? That is the, there we go. We've got, when is the next PopX Cast episode? I can't find if they're in the chat or not. But the next one is, I believe, is it next Monday or Tuesday? Follow us on Twitter and you'll know. But yes, PopX Cast, you see on my community tab, that is the podcast that I do with my cousin Joseph. He's the host, I'm the co-host, and it's full-on pop culture movies. We did a retro Ferris Bueller review last week. It was so much fun. So if you guys like podcasts, hey, there he is. I was looking. We got PopX Cast in the chat this weekend, Sunday night, 9 p.m. Eastern. So yes, thank you so much, PopX Cast, for being in the chat. And our last show was outstanding. If you guys missed it, we did Godzilla vs. Kong spoiler review and Ferris Bueller. Yeah, I like Age of Ultron, but I did feel like some of the comedy is forced. Me too. But it would have been so unbelievably good if it had a darker tone. Maybe if Snyder drew it. Now, see, I don't know if Zack Snyder. I don't know if Snyder's vision is in line with the MCU's vision. I don't think Snyder would have worked very well, but I do agree that some of the comedy was a little bit forced. Okay, I do agree with that. So, it's hard to gauge what could have been better, what could have happened. I just think Snyder doesn't fit in the MCU because tonally, vastly different. At least what they've set up. Now, if he would have been one of the first directors on one of the first movies, sure. But what they've set up, I just don't know if he's a good fit. But he's the perfect fit for Justice League. I'll tell you that much. Let's see. We've got a couple of great questions. Oh, I've watched Mortal Kombat. It's entertaining, but not a good movie. Are you talking about the original or the new one? If you've watched the new one, I don't know. I don't know where you watched it, but if you watched the new one, that's pretty cool. All right. Some of these questions. If you had to write a screenplay of what genre, what would it be and why? I would do a thriller. I think thriller is the genre for me that sticks out as maybe not the most you can do with it, but the most intriguing as to how you build someone up, how you build intensity without. I mean, you can have some scares in a thriller, but without veering into pure horror, right? So you look at a movie like Prisoners. I think Prisoners is perfect when it comes to a thriller because it's building of intensity, it's edge of your seat, but it's not a horror film. I guess you could argue it's a horror film because of what, parents would have to go through. But man, as a thriller, I think that works so well. So I would love to do a thriller. I think that would be fascinating. This isn't my question, but it's been getting debated in the chat for like 20 minutes. Should T'Challa be recast? I don't think so. No, I don't think so. And for me, it's not that I don't think he should be recast in general. If there's another universe down the line, sure. But since it's this universe and he's so integral of a character for someone like Rhodey, he was in one movie. So, it wasn't a big deal, even though I thought Terrence Howard was really good as Rhodey, to be honest with you. But, But since he's been in so many movies and that would be so jarring for the audience, then no, I don't think he should. But later on with another universe, if they ever do that, I mean, at this point, they're so successful, I don't know why they would. But another universe, I mean, it could be like a Batman. It could be like a James Bond, sure. But right now in this universe, I don't think he should be recast. No, I'm very firm in that because, it's different with Batman because Batman, they're all different universes every time we get one. With this, it would be a different T'Challa in the same universe. And I'm just like, in terms of Chadwick playing T'Challa, I think he's perfect for this MCU. I think he's perfect for this MCU. So I just think that would be too much for the audience. Let's see. What about a tier list on foreign movies? Yeah, it would be tough. I wouldn't know how to structure it necessarily because it would be like, would I choose 2000 to 2010? Would I choose 2010 to 2020? So structure would be difficult, but I would love to have the opportunity. Maybe I could do my favorite foreign films, but then for that, I wouldn't do a tier list because they would all be on the top tier. Maybe like a top 10 foreign films I've ever seen. That would be fun. Tier list would be tough, but I like the idea, Abigail. I like the concept of it quite a bit. So yeah, that's definitely something I want to keep in mind, but I need to see more first. Yeti Fawn says, choose three video games and make movies out of them. Oh, that's great. Quick thoughts with director and actress as well. Oh man, that's tough. Borderlands. No, that's cheating. Man, I like that question. So I would say redo Assassin's Creed. I don't know if I want to go actress. That would be different. Redo Assassin's Creed with who would be a good director? God, Denis Villeneuve would be really good for Assassin's Creed. But I don't know if that would never happen. Man, I'm trying to think of like one specifically that I would like. I mean, we're getting another Resident Evil. The Call of Duty movie was kind of a weird idea. I don't know. I mean, obviously Halo, get Halo with a grand sci-fi director, one that can handle scale really, really well. I think Halo would be awesome. The thing is, that's such a difficult one to capture because it has such a loyal fan base. And man, that's a great question. This is one I'm just like, I don't know exactly what to say here. What do you guys think? I mean, we've got Mortal Kombat coming out. We've got Borderlands. We got some big time. I mean, God of War. Wouldn't God of War be awesome? With who would be good? I mean, a Dave Bautista, a big time, huge wrestler that could take over that role. I think that would be super fun. So it's a great question, Yeti Fawn, man. That's an outstanding question. And I just hope we get a really, really good video game movie. Maybe Mortal Kombat's the one. Maybe Mortal Kombat is the one, but we'll just have to see. Let's see. I've got DCEU Power tier list. That's interesting. Maybe when the next Austin's still wrong. What are you talking about, man? What are you talking about? Is it the Chadwick Boseman thing? Hey, nobody's wrong. Opinions are opinions, Andre. I think it's the Chadwick Boseman thing. It's okay, whatever. Yeti Fawn says, taking one for the chat. Any updates on the Movie House Awards 2021? So I still haven't figured out exactly how I want to do something like that. I may not do the full-on award show this year. I may just kind of give you guys what I would have nominated and chose to win the Oscars. I think that would be super fun. Something along those lines would be interesting for sure before the Oscars, maybe even that weekend, maybe like that Saturday or something, but probably no Movie House Awards this year just because, things get so busy and it gets a little difficult balancing all these movies. I would recommend Simple Simon with Bill Skarsgård. Stefan, that's great. Bill Skarsgård is he can do a lot. He can do a lot. So yeah, all right. Simple Simon with Bill Skarsgård. By the way, thank you, Yeti Fawn, for taking one for the chat. I assume somebody else asked that question. I didn't get to see it, so thank you so much. Let's see. All right, Andre, come on, man. It ain't that big of a deal. It ain't that big of a deal. Comment simmer down. It's okay. Lord have mercy. All right. I've been binging Daniel Bruhl YouTube content just because he is so different from answering in Spanish as opposed to German. I'm obsessed. Yeah, man, he can do everything. I feel like Daniel Bruhl can do everything. He's a great actor. He speaks multiple languages. He's talented. I just think Daniel Bruhl's awesome, and his dancing video is phenomenal. So I love Daniel Bruhl so much. And he's one of those actors that I want to see a lot more from. I really do. Let's see. Assassin's Creed with John Wick director Joey Luca. Come on now. Oh my gosh, swells. Alex Garland for Halo. Oh my goodness. That's phenomenal. Oh my goodness, that is phenomenal. But that style works so well. Come on. You guys need to be casting directors. Oh my goodness. Or just, producers on films. That's phenomenal. Let's see. Austin, do a video drafting your Avengers team. Maybe just the core team. Oh, that's fun. Oh my gosh, I've got so many good ideas today. That's so much fun. That is so much fun. Oh man, we've got the Black Panther argument in the chat. I don't know why this started. I want it to stop. This is crazy. Let's see. Some likely contenders for actor next year include Michael Fassbender, Adam Driver, Christian Bale, yes, and Leonardo DiCaprio. Which performance are you looking forward to the most? Yes, so we keep getting pictures of Adam Driver in his upcoming film. And did you guys see the one where he looks like Austin Powers? It's so good. I am so excited for that movie. So yeah, I think we're going to get some great performances. Which one am I looking forward to the most? DiCaprio's film, what's it called with DiCaprio and Jennifer Lawrence? I can't remember the name right now, but it looks great. I'm very, very pumped for that. And obviously Fassbender's role. But yeah, I think Adam Driver could really not surprise a lot of people, but really do something special here. Jared Smith with the question, which movie improved for you the most on second watch? All time? I mean, that's tough. All time. I don't know if I can answer all time, but I will tell you, the most on second watch. So I'm trying to think of a film where my score went maybe from an average. I've never had a super negative to a super positive. Yes, Don't Look Up. That's the name of the film. Thank you, guys. That looks great. I'm very excited. And the cast is outstanding. But in terms of that super chat question, man, that's really tough. I think that would be a good video because I have had movies that have improved drastically. Well, I'll tell you this, but this wouldn't be the most, but Sing Street went from a 9 to a 10. A lot of my favorite movies of all time have upped to that like 9.5 to 100 range. But I've never really, maybe Interstellar, because I really started out around like a 7.5 on Interstellar. And now I am up in the 9 range on Interstellar because that movie has just grown with me so much on rewatch. But that would be a really fun video. That would be a really fun video. Movies that have improved the most for me. I could go into my letterbox and do some research. I think that would be super fun. Let's see. Thomas Jones. Hey man, how are you? I'm fantastic, Thomas. Currently rewatching Tarantino movies. What would your top 5 from Tarantino, Nolan, Scorsese combine? Oh, can't answer that here, Tom. That is a tough question. I can tell you that The Dark Knight would clearly top that list. It would be, a mixture of The Dark Knight, Inception, and then you go to Scorsese, Goodfellas, and The Departed, and then you go to Tarantino. It would be Django and Inglourious Bastards, and it would be just a mix mash of those in a completely different order. I would have to figure out the order, but those are the ones from each director that stick out for me. And obviously your Pulp Fictions, and obviously your Mementos. Oh man, I mean that would be an epic list. So yeah, that's a great a combined favorite directors, movies from those directors list would be super duper fun. So that's a great question. Jared Smith says, agreed on Interstellar, went from a 7 to a 10 for me. Yeah, and I see that a lot, Jared. I see Interstellar just growing and going up people's lists, and it's a wonderful, wonderful film. It really is, and it's one of those that you've got to keep watching. You've got to keep watching. And it's not going to work that way for everyone, but I really, really do love the movie. Christian says, Ridley as Katniss or Jay. We've got an actor swap. So Daisy Ridley is Katniss or Jennifer Lawrence is Rey. I'd go Daisy Ridley as Katniss. I think she would work and thrive in that role. Rey is a very distinct character. I don't know if Lawrence would work for it, but Lawrence is a great actress, so of course she would work for a lot of different things. But I'd have to go Daisy Ridley as Katniss. I think that would be interesting. Tenet went from a 7 to a 9 already. Listen, you can't go wrong with Christopher Nolan, and his movies are always improving for me. I've stayed very consistent with my score for Tenet, but I can't wait till it comes to HBO Max so I can watch it again for, I believe, the fourth time. Let's do one more movie here, or one more question here. We've got some great questions. Again, guys, apologies if I didn't get to your questions today. I want to say thanks for tuning in. Thanks for all of your likes, helping this video out. This series is constantly doing well and thriving because you're all support. So I appreciate you guys for liking this video, asking questions. If I didn't get to all of them, I apologize. But my goal is to do more of these so I can answer all of your questions in the future. We've got, hey, Pop X said, Tom Hanks is a Bob Ross biopic. I want a Bob Ross biopic. I want a Bob Ross biopic. Oh my goodness. Bob Ross is one of the best people ever, but one of the most just sweet shows I've ever watched. Yeti Fawn says, what's the oldest movie you've ever watched? Yeti Fawn, man, you're asking some tough questions. Oldest movie ever? I mean, I guess it would go all the way back to the Chaplin films. I've watched a lot of the Chaplin films in film school or in my, it wasn't technically film school, but in my film classes in college. But which one is the oldest one of his? I mean, I'd have to go to IMDb, but if you're ever in the mood for something different, fun, and really complicated, like his movies, what he did, his physical acting, and putting himself at risk to the degree that he did, I don't know how he did what he did, guys. It was incredible. So go back and watch some of the Charlie Chaplin films, because his, acting using your body, I think, is really important, and just as important as reading dialogue. And what he did, being one of the first ones, oh my God, it was awesome. So I'd say a lot of the Chaplin films were some of the oldest ones I've ever watched. I misspoke when I said film school. So I went to Morehead State University and I minored in film studies. So I do have a major. I was a media major, convergent. It's called convergent media, and minored in film studies. So I took a lot of film classes, man, and it's some of the most fun I've ever had, and mostly because I went back and got to see some of the movies that I missed, some of the classics. But I also learned a lot. But it was mostly watching the movies. Let's see. Tarantino's The Departed, or Scorsese's Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Man, that's tough. I would say Scorsese's Once Upon a Time. I think Scorsese kind of fits in that world that Tarantino set up, more so than maybe Tarantino would fit in The Departed. But you've got the blood, you've got the gore, you got the violence of The Departed. So I think both of those would work. But I would go Scorsese's Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. I'd be very interesting. But both movies are really, really good, especially The Departed, because y'all know that's one of my favorites of all time. Jared Smith says, The Godfather, part 1 or 2, or dare I ask, part 3. Jared, I can tell you right now, It is not part 3. I'd go part 2. Yeah, I'm a part 2 kind of guy. I think the first one is incredible, obviously, and it did, exactly what everybody said it did for films. But part 2 kind of improves, in my opinion, on the original. As crazy as that is, I think the characters are just a tad bit more interesting, and I think the story is a little bit more impactful as you hear someone mowing the grass outside of this apartment complex. Another reason why I want a house. So yeah, I go part 2, guys. What do you think? What do you think? Godfather Part 1 or Godfather Part 2? And Part 2 is going to make its way into my top 50 list. I just need to know exactly where it fits. All right, guys. Hey, we went 10 minutes over the mark. I know I promised we would go an hour, and I always say that, and I keep oh, wait, hey, here we go. Just looking through some things. Red Dead Redemption 1 or 2 with Alejandro Gonzalez Iñárritu, which is not a name that we're hearing a lot nowadays. But what a great choice that would be. What a great choice that would be. Yeah. You speaking my language. And then the last one, part 1 flows better. See, I don't know. I think part 2 for me flows a little bit better, but again, you talking 2 of the best movies ever made, so it's like, which child do you love? Part 1 is way better than part 2. Yeah, I can't get behind that. I think part 2 is, yeah, I don't know. Maybe I think I am in the minority, but yeah, I just think part 2 is a little bit better. Gosh, I wish part 3. You guys talking about 1 and 2. I wish part 3 was as good as the first 2. It would have been one of the greatest. I still think it is, but clearly one of the greatest trilogies of all time. DC or Marvel? I can't choose. There's no point. There's no sense in choosing, in my opinion. But it's a great question because it's a question that I get a lot. But yeah, I love both. I think the Marvel movies over the last 10 years have been better, but I think the DC comics over the last 10 years have been better, and the DC animated movies over the last 10 years have been better, and The Dark Knight is my favorite movie of all time. So does DC win at the end of the day, or does my love for the Marvel Cinematic Universe trump that? That's for you to decide. And that's where I leave you. I think both are outstanding. And at this point, some others are coming in. You got Invincible on Amazon Prime, The Boys, and who knows, maybe the new series on Netflix is going to be awesome as well. So we're spoiled by great superhero content. 20 years ago, the argument between Marvel and DC wasn't as exciting. You know why? Because we just didn't get. I mean, we got a little bit, right? We didn't get that much. But now the fact that we've had so much good superhero goodness, we're spoiled. I'm spoiled by great superhero content. We're living in the age where, we get a costume reveal or we get a superhero reveal and it's kind of like, oh, cool. But 10 years ago when we saw, Robert Downey in the Iron Man suit for the first time, or Chris Evans in the Captain America suit for the first time, it was, and some of you guys may be too young to remember that, it was a dream come true. And now it's just like, oh, cool, the Eternals outfits. Because we're spoiled by great superhero content, which is good, which means we're living in the best age, the best decade, the best millennium for he really is cutting that grass. Yeah, this guy's right next to the window. But we're living in the best age for superhero content, and I'm here for it. Give me all the superhero glory. The good movies, the bad movies, give them to me. I love the fact that we're living in just the best time to be a comic book fan and a superhero fan. But that's it for me. This guy's mowing the lawn. I'm surprised my dog's not barking, by the way. He's usually freaking out right about now, but he also sleeps 18 hours of the day. So he's probably asleep right now. Guys, thank you for all the questions. I've got to go. My wife's almost home. We're working on some stuff. Some house stuff, which is very exciting. But I appreciate you big time. So leave your goodbyes. I'll play you guys out as I leave. I want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart for all of your questions, all of your thumbs up on all my videos supporting my channel, even if YouTube, takes them away or not. And I can't wait to see what comes next. So later on this week, Harry Potter tier list. We've got some reviews. I may be doing a reaction to to my old Oscar takes because I thought that was a really fun idea. And expect another live stream Sunday because my wife's actually going out of town, so it's just gonna be me, baby. So we're gonna be watching some movies and we're gonna be doing some live streams. And it's good. Well, me and my dog. So maybe he'll pop in with me one of these days. All right, guys, you're the best. Thank you so much for watching. And you know what? I may actually see you later on today. Maybe a review. We'll just have to see. All right. I think it looks good. It looks really good. Can't wait. I'm very excited. Oh, yeah. Patreon live stream tomorrow. Alex, I'll see you there. Let's do some Tobey Maguire memes. Let's do some Tobey Maguire memes. Very nice.